Hello, future cravers. My name is Noelle Bartley. I'm the Vice President of Marketing for White Castle. Today I want to talk a little bit about the history, the product, the competition, and the benefits to White Castle, and why we need you as much as you crave us. And I'd like to ask the audience to please hold their questions till the end. But first, let's talk about what makes our fans so unique. We're the only restaurant in the title of a movie. You can experience fine dining on Valentine's Day or hold your wedding at White Castle. And we love our fans so much, we created the Craver Hall of Fame, which ranges from people from Alice Cooper to Madeline Turpin. Madeline Turpin is a 102-year-old lady who for the past 80 years has enjoyed White Castle. She claims her longevity to red wine and sliders. I want to talk a little bit about the White Castle first. White Castle is the first fast food restaurant in 1921. They patented the first movable food truck. They were the first restaurant with curbside service and first restaurant in the frozen food section of grocery stores. Now, the original slider is a 2.5 by 2.5 patty of 100% beef. 5 holes are punched into the patty and they're cooked over a griddle covered in onions. This allows the patty to be steamed. We also place the bun on top, so the bun will also get steamed as well. Now a little bit about our competition, which would be Crystal. There is Crystal in Texas. If you look at the map at the bottom of the screen, I don't know how they do it, we are mainly located in the Midwest, while Crystal is in the South. As I mentioned before, White Castle was founded in 1921, while Crystal was founded 10 years later. 4 sliders from White Castle is $3.20, while 4 crystals from Crystal are $3.64. White Castle has 400 locations, while Crystal only has 350. White Castle has always been family owned by the Ingram family, while Crystal used to be family owned but now is franchised, which has caused them over time to lose direction in their menu. And I don't mean to brag, but White Castle has 1 million more Facebook fans than Crystal, according to Facebook. And according to the nation's restaurant news research, White Castle ranks number 78 out of 100, while Crystal only ranks 97. Now let's talk a little bit about the benefits of White Castle. On White Castle's website, you can order ahead of time or through White Castle's apps. There's in new locations, there's kiosks as well that you can avoid talking to a person. White Castle is also partnered with Safe Place, which is an organization that takes people who are domestically abused in for shelter. So if you go to a White Castle and request them to call Safe Place for you, they will, and they'll also give you a free meal as you wait for Safe Place personnel to pick you up. White Castle is the only fast food restaurant that has their recipes online incorporating the sliders. I've personally had the turkey stuffing using sliders as the main ingredient, and it's great. I mentioned the Cravers Hall of Fame before, but I want to highlight Craver Nation, which is our newest reward system for our customers. Currently, we're having a contest called the First Bite Contest, which I feel can apply to most of you in the room today. If you take a video or a picture of your first bite of White Castle, you could win prizes. Now, on a serious note, I want to talk about why White Castle. White Castle has a foundation that gives scholarships and grants to students with disabilities. There's a team member relief fund that when you buy White Castle, as part of the profits go into helping members with financial needs get back on their feet. White Castle is also partnered with Autism Speaks in April and the American Red Cross in February. And lastly, White Castle is a progressive company where it does everything it can to reduce energy and waste. So by buying, eating, or donating to White Castle, you are helping so many people. White Castle specifically tends to locate itself in low-income communities. And not only does it do that to help stimulate the local economy, but it helps other people in need through different events and benefit programs when you buy specifically at that location. So thank you for coming, and I will now open the floor for questions.